Hi everyone, welcome back to Crochet Rocks. My name's Tracy and this is another little Wip Wednesday. I didn't think I had that many whips on the go until I started grabbing them all together, and then I realised that some of these are a little bit more long term. I do have some others, but I couldn't even find them. They're that long term, but I wanted to find them so I could start getting them out and using them again, you know, using them, but you know what I mean, working on them again, so that they would not become UFOs, unfinished objects. So first off, the ones you've seen probably are the ones. I mean, I need to get some cushions, which is why this isn't finished, but I've got obviously another one of these on this table, and it's going to be a cushion. I like the reverse side of it just as much as I like the other side, but I do have a tutorial for it, and it will be a cushion. And so I've got to get some cushions to stuff it with. I've got some actually in we've got a caravan that's a storage place in the garden, and there are some in there, but whether they're the right size or whether I just need to get some new ones. But that will be a rather snazzy cushion, and I might do more of those because I've got lots more of that yarn, or I might do that for my seat in here, possibly for my back. We'll see, because I kind of like it. It's pretty, so I'll put that one in the bag. Seen that before. Oh, if you want me to like show you a bit closer, if you've not seen it before, it's a two-colour Mosaic Square, and as I say, I do have a tutorial for it. I love the centre, the way all those colours converge. So that was Fab DK by Payton's, and this is just black. They're both classed as a DK weight, but this one, the Payton's one, is a lot thicker than the black, which I think adds to it somehow. But you know, we was talking about that in my live stream last night, that some DKs can be completely, well, the spectrum of what they class as a 3-weight DK yarn is crazy, because I showed 3 different strands and they were all different thicknesses. One was quite thick for a DK. Well, actually there are thicker ones like this one, much thicker, but the one you get from Deramores, their own, their DK is quite thin. So yeah, it ranges, and it's very annoying when you're making something and you're putting yarns together. You have to try and find the kind of correct thickness to unless they're the same brand, but you can't always get the colour you want in the brand, so you try and mix and match, and then some of them are quite thick and some of them are not. So that's this cushion anyway, and I do have 2 cushions on the go. I'm not sure if that one's easily accessible. Here we go. I've got 2 of these. The other one is edged in a pink, but this was a swatch that I made when I was doing my Willow Square blanket, and I wanted to show a border, so I did the border tutorial. So one swatch I made the border, and then the next swatch I showed how to do the border, and it's got crab stitch around the edge, so with this little stripe of colour. But the other one is exactly the same as this, but it has a kind of a pinker stripe, and that will be a cushion too. But I was going to undo them and then incorporate them into the huge blanket, but I haven't, and I don't know what that got stuck on. But this is the huge blanket. It has grown, but it's kind of a long-term project, this one, and it every now and then gets pushed aside, sadly, because I want to finish it, but it gets pushed aside for other things that I'm making, and they take a little bit more priority, and this goes on the back burner again. But I do get it out from time to time, if I have an expression. I'll put that down there, and that one is made with the Poundland yarn, which I was lucky enough to get a whole pack of once. Only happened once, but it's made with this and white, just white to edge them and to do a slip stitch join. And again, that's a 3-weight. We in this country have a lot of 3 weights, but this is the Willow Square, and it's my Willow Square, as I've said before many times, is a lot different to other people's. You can go in another tutorial like maybe Bella Coco, and there will be quite big holes because the chain count that they use is so much bigger, but I don't like monster holes, so mine is quite a lot less floppy in that respect. No, it's very floppy, but what can I say, it's just a lot less holy because I'm not into the big holes. I do them from time to time, like if the pattern really calls for it. So this is my knitting machine. I've brought it in to show you. So this is what I'm using. It's by Knitcraft, which is Hobbycraft's own brand, and this is Leader of the Pack, and it's lovely yarn. It's got a tiny bit of alpaca in, not really as much as the name suggests, but 90% acrylic and 10% alpaca. It's quite a thick yarn, but they don't say, where's the one that started on? Okay. They don't say what it is, whether you'd class that as a 4 or a 3. Again, it'd be a thick 3, but that's it anyway. It's lovely and soft, and I did make a hat for my grandson with that and black, a stripy hat, which I do have a tutorial for, but I'll take all the yarn out and just brought this in to show you. So yeah, I've made, it has grown. See, that's what I was saying about being a hat. Now if I double this over, it'd probably be too long to be a hat. So obviously that's the underside and this is the right side. So there it is, but see the end curls. So I'm kind of not quite sure what I'm doing with ends yet. There's a few other, I've seen a few tutorials where they will show you how to make tighter ends, but I think, you know, the yarn that's dangling, if you pull it, it does tighten up a bit. So I've got a lot to play with and learn yet, but that's what I've done so far. And because I am sure it is way too big for a hat, I've got all that yarn. There's another 3 skeins and a bit, so I'm going to turn that into a scarf. Right, let me just put that over there, so I don't want to break it. And that's the ball I'm working on. So this was what was left over from making the hat, which is this hat. I'm going to post this off. I know I keep saying I'm going to do it, but I am going to get to the post office. I'm just a little bit concerned about unnecessary going out and being fined for it, but when I do go out, I will do my posting off. And this is the hat. So this hat here with this humongous pom-pom, that was left over from that skein, the 100 grams. But so I've got the one I'm working on, which was a full one, 2 more full ones, and that amount. So that will probably be enough to do, put that over there, nice and carefully. Probably it'd be enough to do a scarf. So I think I might turn that into a scarf. So that's another whip, so to speak, although it is, I'm cranking it out on my Addi machine. It's the first ever attempt, so you know, I don't expect it to be the best best attempt. So as you know, I'm making another fluffy blanket. I've made one already for one grandson, and this is for the other one. I've given Tyler his already because they popped here and I just passed it out the window. But this one is Harley's. Oh, it's so soft. It is quite big already. That grows very, very quick. And I also did a tutorial for this one because it's made with fur. I love this yarn. It is beautiful, and it can be difficult to work with, so I wanted to show a tutorial. Just it's a mesh stitch, so it is wholly, but you don't really see them. So that's quite big now. A little bit longer than a square now. It was a square, so I think, I'm not sure if that ball or that one and another and it'll be done, but it won't be long now. I didn't work on it yesterday, first day that I didn't actually pick it up and work on it, because I'm designing something new. And I also have something that I've not shown you, and it's out in the kitchen. I won't be bringing it in because I'm keeping it under wraps until I've worked out a few more of them, and then I might do them as a cowl. So there is another whip, but I won't bring that one out. Now obviously this hasn't been finished, so it's still classed as a whip, and I will be doing a tutorial for it very soon. Now it's a similar stitch to the scarf that I did, but it's completely the opposite direction, and this is made with the James C. Brett, gonna fall down now, Northern Lights. I've shown it to you before, unless you're new to my channel. That's James C. Brett Northern Lights is absolutely a dream to work with. I love it. And this is the wrap. Was going to perhaps make a pocket shawl, but I made it wider and turned it into a wrap instead. So that will be coming very, very soon. I'll put that over there. And this is what I was looking for earlier. I couldn't find it because I stuck loads of stuff on it. Now this was a finished object. It was a cowl, but it's now an unfinished object. It's now a whip again, because I was talking about this last night, because when I did this I can't remember what stitch I used, and I've come to the conclusion it's the Crochet Rocks stitch, the one that I actually invented, because I did it in the round and I wanted to use that. And I'm going to turn this into a mini skirt. I know, right? Check me out. But this is it, and I think it will be a cool mini skirt. I've got another ball of this, so I will just do that. I understand, however, that this black bit here is wider than I have done on it, but I just might unpick a little bit and then put a cuff, you know, a waistband then on the top. So where that was a finished object as a cowl, if I do it, it's now a whip as a mini skirt, which I think would be kind of pretty. So that one I've shown you, Now this one, I think, this was the same. I chose different yarn to have a go with it, and this is it. So I was making this one as a cowl, and this is the yarn I was using. There must have been other. What yarn was I using? I think that's the same. I was using the Boho Spirit that I had left over from that. So there we are, I was doing it with that. So I'll be able to unpick that and see my stitch. I will definitely know then. But this one's curling, and it's curling I think because I'm using this yarn. So let me just wind that up so it doesn't get tangled with anything, because that one didn't curl. And that yarn is Stylecraft. What's that say? Smooth? No, let's get the light on the subject. If I put the light on, it plays havoc with my lights. Double knit. That's what I mean. This double knit is really thick. So this is the Stylecraft Special Double Knitting. But look how thick that strand is compared to this one. Look at that, how thin that is. Where are we? Where's the other one gone? It wasn't really dangling, was it? But yeah, you can see the difference in the thickness. Sorry about the light, sorry about that. The thickness of those two is crazy in comparison. And you know, I was showing a few different strands last night because they are just completely different. Now it will go off. I started making a poncho as well before I got COVID, and that pretty square that I turned into a cushion I made in black and white, only smaller obviously, and then I made this one, and I was going to do some plain ones, and then the body of the poncho was going to be made with this. And this one is the Elise Batik, and it's beautiful, and it's all black, white and grey. I'd been asked to make a poncho ages ago and I kind of didn't. So I like this square as well, but the other one, the little mosaic one, is around somewhere. I don't know where to put it. I've got a bit of a mess situation going on in the yarn room. Keep showing yarns and not putting them back properly, that's why. But I like this one, so this one was part of it as well. I'm not sure if I did a tutorial for that. I don't think I did. and I hope I don't forget how I did it, but I might have done, actually, thinking of it, because it was like all of the different techniques. This one was the box granny that I did, the baby box granny. Yeah, I'm sure I did a tutorial for that, actually, thinking about it. So that is another one, but it's kind of on the back burner a little bit, because I've got so much going on. I don't know what I'll do with this. I possibly will just undo it, but at least I'll be able to figure out the stitch that I was using. Looking at it, it's the Crochet Rock stitch. So, but I might just turn the other one into the miniskirt, not the curly one. That wouldn't really work out, would it? So that is, oh, and there were the plain ones, just to sort of break up the black and white ones in between. And I had just black yarn, white yarn, and the batik. So that was going to be the poncho, and I've got my little girly over here to model it for me and help me make it. So that's cool. It's going to be our first assignment. Still hasn't got a name. So my new whip then, not the one that I'm doing for Easter, which I'm not bringing in, but I'm making a market bag, well, a shopping bag. And I'm going to do it with this denim yarn. Now this is cotton, and I got it a long time ago in Aldi in their yarn events. And this is the balls I've been working with, not much left of it, but you can see it's cotton. There's no give in it. And they're kind of denim colours, and this one is like a variegated twist. So I figured I'd do the solid colour centre and then turn it into a square with the other, and then just edge each one. And I've got a nice kind of pattern in mind with how to do the, you know, the actual putting them together, but some of them are still a bit funky. I guess I could block them. I've got a blocking pad, but they will sew together and square up. But that's them, and I haven't finished this one yet, but I've got a few made. They're a bit time consuming because they're not wholly at all. So what I'm planning on doing is making a few different shopping bags, and this one's going to be a sturdy one. There's another few. Look, I've been, when I was watching TV, making a few of these. So yeah, I'm going to make this one quite a sturdy one with no holes, but then I'll make a few mesh ones, I think, and put them all inside, and then when I go to the supermarket or shopping I can take them with me, and this one will be the one that carries them all. And then if I've got stuff where they could easily poke out of the string bags, then I'll put it in this bag, and then you know, the normal bulky items can go in the ones that are more mesh. But I'm not sure if I've done enough really to kind of square that off perfectly, but if you pull it, it does go into shape. So it just needs, if you're a blocking person, blocking will sort it out. But that's going to come up soon. Got loads of this yarn. When I first bought it, I had decided to make a bath mat, and then moved in here and I brought my bath mat from home, which is the same colours. So I didn't end up finishing the bath mat, but if I find that whip, I can always undo it, and I've got more yarn. But I've got quite a bit of this anyway. It was the So Crafty Knit Pearl denim yarn, and as far as size goes, I never really trust what it says there, because it says it's a 4, and you know what, it's not a 4. That is a DK. That Stylecraft's thicker, so I can't just say that's a 4. It's not. So I would say it's a 3 weight. It's a DK weight. So yeah, those are my current whips that I've been working on. As I say, there are a few whips that that are still around that I haven't finished. One of which is the chunky mile a minute blanket, which is going to be going like over the sofa. And I did get on quite a lot with that. And then once the tutorial was finished, it's really hard then to go back and finish that, which is what happened with that Willow Square. For the tutorial I made a cot blanket for Tyler, and once that was finished, mine just became a long-term whip, which isn't good. But if I wasn't the sort of person that had a channel, I would have finished it long ago. But because there's always something new happening and new to show you, my whips tend to knock about for a bit longer. But that's all I've got at the moment. And well, you see, I've been getting on with the Addi knitting machine, which I started doing it. I was going to make a hat, and then I just suddenly thought, well, how many rows constitutes a hat? And I looked it up and I couldn't find the answer anywhere. And then some people double it over. Gary doesn't like very thick hats, so I don't think that would work out for him. So I will perfect these things, I think, before I make a hat. But at the moment, that will be, I hope it's long, they're going to be long enough for a scarf once I've done it. I'm sure it will be. It'll tuck in, won't it? So thanks for watching. I hope you liked my whips, and I hope to finish some of these. Watch out for the tutorial for the wrap, and I keep saying it. But unfortunately, the weekend kind of took the wind out of my sails with my tutorials. I need to get back into it. But there'll be stuff coming because I have a little notebook full of ideas for things, and I need to get the Easter project and this bag done. So thanks for watching. Stay safe. Take care. See you soon. Bye for now.